All the frogs seeing wide, get a clear view. People coming with the tides like we church and pew. Haters putting them aside, yeah, I often do. Some claiming to be friends.
What's going on, people? This is Inflewence, and I'm back with another review. This is Magic Square's video team MS-B29D, which is Reflector, and it's the actual G1 toy version of their Reflector. They have the regular version and they have the toy version. Now, even though I collect Legends as well as a Masterpiece, I usually opt to get a different Legends figure. Like if I have the figure, sometimes I get the same figure, but if I have it in a Masterpiece representation, I usually, if they offer a different one, I usually get the different one, which is why I got the toy version of this. And I think it's great. It looks just like the toy version. I actually have the G1 toy version here, so we can compare. We can look at the box, nothing big. As usual, you got that little guy, which means it's a Legends, if you couldn't tell by the box. Has a number of pictures on here. This is the only way I could figure out how to like really configure, because there's nothing in the directions. That's the first drawback. I do not like their directions. I never did really like their directions. They have a lot to be desired. They actually will get you through it, but they don't offer much as far as communication like with accessories and stuff. This guy comes with a lot of accessories, and it's not really, well, no, there's a few things in here. I don't usually talk about directions too much. There's a card, of course, but I just wanted to talk about these directions. Luckily, they're Legends, so it's not too bad as far as trying to figure out what's going on. But I'm trying to see if the gun, see, and they do show that a little bit, but like in robot mode, they don't show any of the accessories on them, so you know where they go or what they can do. It is a Legends, and maybe that's what they were thinking. Like, it's not that complicated if you're into Transformers. Like, I didn't really use the directions too much. I just got the basic movements. You know, two of them are the same. The third one is a little different, which is usually how it goes for Reflector figures. Let's get that out the way. And here's the camera. Now, all the gimmicks, they usually use the guns as a stand or something, knives in here. So they store, everything stores in this guy. I didn't think about keeping his head up, and that's unclear. I may try it just to see, but usually there's a button. These things, I think, is just for uniformity. I thought it had something to do with how it went together, but it's the other sides that do. So I just think they can turn though, but they have a little tab there. So this part, you really need to put in before you transform it to get it all the way in. It fell off a little while ago, and I'll put it back in. So you can get it in after, but it's just easier to do it during the transformation. It's a little tab there, and here's the back of it. And let me compare. I have the G, you can see the G1 over here. Has no stand. So yeah, I think this looks much better. Even though it's a Legend size, it's not made to be a Masterpiece. It looks, Masterpiece Legends. That's what's going on these days. You can see, and this is what I mean with the head. It acts as the shutter button. This doesn't, maybe on purpose, just because you can see their faces when you turn it around. It does give you G1 vibes with the red and the blue, and then the different in the middle. So that's cool. The only other thing, this stays on really well. The only other thing is this gets disconnected, and it's just a little tab in there that tabs onto his front. When you put you just gotta, it's like a half circle. And my leg came with, I don't know what that is. I don't know, I've been trying. I didn't want to rub the paint off or the plastic. I don't know if these guys are painted. They have plastic, but it was like really bad, and I started rubbing it. It seems to want to come off, but I'm scared to rub it all the way off. I might though, just because it's unsightly. I don't know what it is. So I'll take this off just to show you. Am I going the right way? I can't remember. It'll come off when you manipulate it, but now it doesn't seem to want to come off. So I won't take it off. But it's just rifles, just cast in one piece. They're all three like that. So they have that, and then let me just take his rifles off. And that little tab in the back, that's what tabs on, as you can see, to those things. And the knives just are in there. I think it's pretty cool. The knives are has a pretty good sculpt to it. There you go. I just pulled it out. So yeah, up in here, this thing tabs into the back. It doubles as a gun, like a third or fourth gun, I should say. You can put all the knives in there, and then it looks like a knife gun. I show all that in robot. This is, of course, the camera, but then it splits and turns into missile pods. So you just flip this around. It's just on a flip. You have missile pods. And that clip on the shoulders, I'll show that. And you can do it either way if you want this piece up. But we'll get to that. And then this part comes off of this camera part. So you even have it like that if you want it. To where it's smaller and there's not a extra piece. But I like the extra long lens. And then you split these, and these can actually tab on to the robot modes as well. And you're left with the core base. So this top part, you want to pry open. It's pretty tight. The tabs are pretty tight, but they're not super tight where you need a tool. And I like that. Pry that open, and then you can undo this side, because that's connected to this guy. And then you can lift this up. This just comes down. It doesn't really tab in. It just forms around that. And that's a pretty good fit. And then these, and this tabs, I didn't show the other one, but these tab in pretty much the same. So you have a tab on his legs, and then you have 3 tabs on, or no, it's not 3, 2. And then there's a tab on his legs, and this doesn't tab on. I thought it was a tab up here. It looks like you can keep adding on. I don't know why you would, but then you get 3 halves. So you have these flaps right here that's on pins, and this sticks into there, that tab. So you can just keep them, pull them up like that, keep them up. Then bring these feet tab them up here in the arms with those tabs. Just bring them down. I think the legs are pretty cool because this part pulls out, spins around, because it has a larger opening up here in order to, so you can accordion the feet all the way up. But then it's just like it's hard to see, it's black plastic. So just get your thumb in there, and it's like accordion, and then that pin spin around. Then you can get the feet out. Feet just come out like this, and then they flip around. I just do it now because I'm thinking about it. Then you can push this down. It tabs back in, and then you have enough room for the feet to move, which I think is pretty cool. And then you have, less space up here, so it doesn't look as hollow. So that's cool. It's like a little piece of, it seems like it's just some added transformation, just so you have extra transformation, but it's actually pretty ingenious for legend scale figure. It's just little things that they have to think about. So now you can get the full range of the foot, and you have less hollowness up here. And you see pull these arms. I usually pull them over, and then you can move them. You just gotta maneuver. You can move this out the way too, because that's all gonna fold up on his back. You just maneuver it out best you can. Haven't had any ball joints pop off, which is a plus. Not pop off, but have anything pop off of the ball joints. So his head's like on a double swivel. You can move that up, and then move this up to get his head where you need it to be. Then these, you move back and up, and you start to move these. This goes in like that, and then you can just move this up. Let me see. Move it this way so it's flat. This one too is down, and this peg that actually fit down here will fit up into there like that, and then move this, and then you just move this down and over. It should sit on his back just like that. Put these hands down and pull these arms out so you can get your arm extension and bend, and pretty much got a bot done. So I'll do this one. It's a little different, but just because of this piece, but nothing really different, I should say. But it does have, this piece is different. But I'll just go through it quick, just to show you how quick it can be. If it can be quick at all. You hear the water. Get this down. You can forget to do this. I'm not sure. I mean, I know it messes up the feet. So if you don't do this, you won't get full range of feet. This is hard. It's never been this hard. And it is tight. Everything's tight, I can say. I haven't had a problem with loose. Like I said, loose. I haven't had anything pop off the ball joints. Nothing's really that loose. They have pins and a lot of stuff. It's not totally ball joints. Pull this down. Pull these out. And if you want, you can start to bend. You can bend this stuff like this, just so you get extra clearance when you're trying to maneuver these arms. Get this head up. Then maneuver this back here like that. Little backpack going with his hands. And there you have the second guy. Now for this guy, he's a little different. There's a couple steps that I'm not sure why, but it's not super different. So pull these legs out just like you do the other ones. The legs are just like the other ones, except they're blue. They actually share some similarities with their Optimus Prime, which is understandable. That's what they do. They use some of the same parts, it seems. They just retool, which every company does. So it's not a slight, just an observation. So right here, I'm not sure why they tell you to put the hands like this. I don't know if it interferes with something. I don't know. I haven't tried it another way. You just this is on a series of hinges and ball joint, so you can just maneuver that best you can out the way, get these arms forward, and then get this head up. It's just like the other ones on the same type of hinge. But then you just want to maneuver this back, and it'll fold in on itself like that. And I'm not sure how it goes. I think it just sits here like this. Oh no, here you go. It's a little tab. I didn't even notice that before. There's a little tab on there that it does tab onto the back securely, so it doesn't rattle around. You can't see that. Okay. And then with this, like I was saying, I don't know, they tell you to turn the hands like this and then put them back. And I'm not sure why. Maybe there's a clearance issue if you don't do it like that. Never tried it not doing it like that. So, and there you have Video Team, which is a G1 toy reflector. And I'll only show articulation on the two outside bots, but let's compare. This is G1. So I think they did a great job with that. Trying to capture that essence while keeping it masterpiece legends. So that's pretty dope. Happy with this set. So then bring in, this is New Age Megatron, but it does scale well. I love the way it looks. I don't know if Magic Square's Megatron is going to be better or not. We're not here to talk about this. I have a review on this if you want to go check it out, because this is a great figure. Great Legends Megatron. I don't know how they will improve on that, anybody. So I mean, there's issues, but very few, and the paint job is magnificent. But that's how that scales, because he scales well with Optimus. So I'm just going to use him because I have DX9's Megatron as well, but that's an older version, and I don't think it looks as good as this Megatron. But yeah, I think that scales great. That's a great scale. So now we have all of his, well, I'll get the arm up in a minute. Let's go through articulation. And they actually have the same articulation, all three of them, but just because these two are different, the two outer, we'll do them. So you can get his arms up to there, his head, and you see his face sculpt. There is some imperfections on the paint, and I guess that silver doesn't look clean. Like maybe it's the plastic. Plastic looks porous, and you take that for what it is. But you get a good ball joint, good range up, down. These are some smaller characters, so it's good to have a range up. You do have some hollowness in there, but it's a Legends figure, so I think you give them some leeway. Not double jointed, but you get 90 degrees. You get a waist bend. Get a waist turn, waist swivel. Get them up like that. Get them up like that. Very well articulated figures. More than you ever need. More double jointed. Has a thigh swivel. It's on a mushroom peg, but it doesn't seem to give you any problems. This is a little limited for the rocker, but doesn't really matter for a Legends, I don't think. And you have up, you can get up that far, get the little toe tilt, down. Hands don't open close. You have fixed hands, but they do swivel around. I kind of wish all of them would come with like Optimus, what Optimus came with, where you plug in the hands, you can have a fist or something. I think that's how they should do business, but he does come with a lot of accessories, so they probably had an accessory count already too high for their price. So he has waist, he has basically the same articulation. Nothing. His head, no, his head does. Here's his face sculpt. He has that mask type of face sculpt. Double joint. I'm not gonna go through all his articulation. It's basically the same. I wasn't sure if it was a little different because of this. And you do get butterfly back. I forgot about that because of transformation. So that's good. Let me see him. Yeah, butterfly is back. I think that's cool. So now for all of these accessories, they all can go somewhere on him, or on them, I should say, which I think is cool. So I just do it how the box has it. So it has this guy with the missile launchers. He has a tab there. I usually point the L up. I don't know why. I just like it gives a little bit more bulk. There he goes. You can give him a gun. It's cool. He got a gun. He can he holds a gun that just slots into his arm. So he's ready for battle. And get him together. You can put these things, you can have them higher or lower. I like them lower. It kind of covers it. It kind of gives it more like a shield-like look. And depending on what side you put it on, you can get higher or lower. Or you can get higher or lower. It doesn't matter. Get those in place. Then I give him the two guns. He can be ready. So he's ready. Then for him, you can give him these knives. So I'll give him just one knife and throw the other knife in here, like this. Then he can hold this. He got like hand to hand, got like the knife gun. Put his feet down. So he has his bodyguards. So there you go. And this has been Magic Square's video team MS-B29D, which is the toy version. They do have the other version if you want to pick that up. It's the you know, the regular cartoon version, I guess, because you know, cartoon and the toy G1 was different. I tackled that before, so won't get into it now. But this is Inflewence. Please like, subscribe, share, and I will be back.
Life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.